Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Maxwell DNA video series. In this video series, I'm interviewing certified John Maxwell coaches from the German-speaking world and other parts of the world, and we are exploring the Maxwell DNA values. And I'm very excited because I've been learning so much from my colleague coaches from different parts of the world, and I'm sure you have as well. So, who is our guest today? That we will find out from Anya. Anya, who is our honor guest today?
Vielen Dank, Armando. Wir sind in der Maxwell DNA-Serie beim Buchstaben N angekommen, also Nurture Transformation, das heißt Transformation fördern. Und zu diesem Thema wird uns heute Ingrid etwas erzählen. Sie ist Maxwell Team Leader und auch Mentor. Ich bin gespannt darauf, was sie uns zu erzählen hat.
That sounds very good. I'm very excited too about our guest today. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Ingrid Wredstroem. Ingrid, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Well, thank you, Armando, for inviting me. I am located in the Copenhagen area, just around the corner from Germany.
That's right, not too far away. Yeah, well, thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time for this interview. I'm very excited about the topic today. We met, what is it, 3 months ago? Yeah, this is January, so 3 months ago. And if you helped me out. I was lost in Paris. I was looking for the hotel. We both visited the International Maxwell Conference, and that was my very first time in Paris, in France, and it was an odyssey trying to find out my hotel. Going from the airport to the hotel, and it had not been for you, I probably would be still there, wandering around with my luggage. So thank you very much for that.
It was a really nice way of being introduced to you, Armando, helping you find your hotel and go shopping for some water.
I was so thirsty. That's a long story, people. I will tell you someday about that. So again, thank you very much for that, Ingrid. Well, you chose a very interesting value, nurture transformation, and I'm dying to dive into that subject. But before that, for those in the audience who do not know who you are, tell us a little bit about you, Ingrid. Who is Ingrid Wredstroem?
Well, I am 57 years old. I'm educated as a teacher, and I'm married to Carsten. We've been married for 34 years almost. We have 3 adult sons. I've been a kind of person that wanted to make sure that I could change the world around me in order to get what I really wanted. So one of the things I did, as a family, we were posted abroad for some time when our boys were small, and we came back to Denmark. And I saw the need for creating a new kind of school, because our oldest son was born with spina bifida and had learning disabilities. So being a teacher, I actually decided to found my own school and run my own school. I also got very involved in politics. I was voted into the city council, and I've also been working in national politics for some years. So I'm a kind of person that wants to get involved with life, because I don't just let others do the work. I want to see my own values happen around me. So today I'm working part-time as a teacher, and I have my own consultant company. I joined the Maxwell team back in 2017. I had many years of experience of leading people and leading myself, and I thought, where do I turn to in order to use these skills in the best way? And I've read Maxwell books for years, so it was a natural step for me to join the Maxwell team, because it's a value-based universe,
Right.
and it's so fit who I am and my opinion about the world. Yes.
Well, so you're an experienced coach, an experienced team member. I know you're a mentor as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean for the people that are watching right now, if they do not know what does Maxwell Leadership Mentor?
Well, it's actually, I'm a part of the mentorship at the Maxwell organization. And it actually allows you to access a lot of content to use in your own world and to help mentor people around you, but also use the staff at the Maxwell organization, having them being your mentors with what you do. So it's a wonderful opportunity to learn from other people.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let us begin with the topic. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. So today, we're going to talk about nurturing transformation. What does that mean, Ingrid? Nurturing transformation.
So I think there are different levels to the phrase nurturing transformation. First of all, transformation is a state of mind where you want to see things differently than they are. So you want to see a change. And nurturing is how can you prepare the ground around you so that you actually can begin to see that there will be change and that there will be transformation. Well, one of the things that I actually reflected on this Christmas, where we were together as a big family with grandchildren, and I'm just realizing if you let things stay the way they are, they deteriorate, right? Everything goes into disorder. If you don't clean up, if you don't cook, if you don't, everything becomes messy. It becomes crazy around you. So somehow you got to make a decision. I'm gonna make sure that life around me goes into order. But more than that, I don't just want the status quo. I actually need things to change to the better. And in my own life, that has been such a drive with everything that I've done. I wanted, when I first founded my school, I wanted to make sure that we had a school where my boys were thriving, where we could do it better, we could do it differently. But it meant that I had to make sacrifices. And my husband had to make sacrifices. We all had to make sacrifices in order to see that transformation. So we nurtured that development in our lives by starting off, by walking the talk, by preparing and doing things in order for things to change. And I think it actually is a bit of a difficult state of mind if you want transformation in your life and if you want to see transformation around you, because you got to be dissatisfied with how life is.
Wow.
You got to be wanting it to be different.
Right.
And maybe today, with how, the influence that we have as people with social media, with a lot of TV, a lot of not natural stuff around us, we come into a state of mind where we forget that maybe we should look at life and maybe we should want things to be different. Maybe we don't have to accept the state that life is in right now. And I see that with children, I see that with young people, that there might be a lack of wanting to change because maybe there's no hope that things can change. So nurturing transformation starts with you wanting things to be different.
Wow.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
and in order to spread that out to the world around you, you got to start with yourself. I mean, you got to walk the talk. So I can't be trustworthy as a coach or as a mentor to the people around them, around me, if I haven't walked on this path myself.
Let me interrupt you right there one second before we go into that, because I think that's very powerful, that beginning with yourself. But I'm thinking about that an image right now, and this is just so interesting because just yesterday I was coaching to clients, and one of the reflection, there was a group coaching session, and one of the reflection questions were, how satisfied are you with your life right now? And both of them were, but at the same time they reflected about, well, why? Yeah, but I want to get better. So there was like a conflict in their head, because they're like, well, is that a trick question? Should I be unsatisfied with my life, or should I want more from my life? And you are mentioning right now that in a sense we have to be a little bit unsatisfied with the way things are. And the image I was thinking of, it was water. Water that is stagnant, water that is not in movement. Is that what you are talking about? What can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I think, yes, exactly. I think if you allow yourself to be humble towards life itself, there will always be challenges that you have to deal with. And I think these challenges, they can ignite something inside of you where you are not satisfied with just dwelling on that, but wanting things to change and be better. So instead of just ignoring it and getting on with life and forgetting to reflect, then actually look into the actual problems or difficult situations that you find yourself in, and then start addressing it and say, okay, is there anything I can do to come out better in this situation, so that life doesn't overwhelm me, but I can actually try to take lead. I know I can't maybe not change circumstances, but I can definitely change how I feel about the circumstances. So it's not easy. But I think we often forget to reflect because we might be afraid of facing difficulties. We might be afraid of facing problems. And then we might just want to sit down and watch a video instead, or a movie, and forget about it. But that is not what life is about. Or at least I don't think that life is about. We were given life to try to live our best. And so transformation is something that does not happen overnight.
Right.
It's actually working with yourself. It's working with life. It's working with your circumstances day by day. One thing that I really love doing as a Maxwell coach is actually doing these transformation tables that comes out of the Maxwell organization.
Right.
And it's actually 2 courses that you can do. One is called Value Table.
Okay.
And it takes you through 6 different values that you go through. And I use it in my personal life with friends, but I also use it with clients. So one of the values that we read through is the value of hope. And hope in this context is determined. It's actually said it's belief in action.
Right.
So hope is belief in action. And every time I do these transformation tables where you reflect, you have to actually look at your own life and say, how well am I doing with hope in my life? It really dawns on me that if we want to change something really difficult and we want to try to turn it into hope, we got to get going. It's believing that it can change, but then I got to put action behind it. And what I see is people, going through these lessons, actually are forced to try to look at values in a very different way.
Is that painful for some people?
Is that what? Sorry?
Is that painful? I mean, painful.
Yeah.
You know, quote unquote painful. You know, facing reality, facing things that maybe they swept under the rug, and then
Yeah.
discovering, oh my goodness, I need to do some work in my life.
And also, once you've read together, you read a text on hope, right?
Mhm.
And towards the end, you evaluate yourself.
Right.
And you got to go walk yourself through a question. So why did I evaluate myself like this?
Mhm.
How can I how can I come up with an action step
Mhm.
for the next week so I actually can change my rating? And it is a challenge for people because it forces them to investigate an area they've never, they thought, okay, I can hope for something, but I'm never going to be able to do something about it. Well, this is challenging you. Yes, you can, because it's belief in action.
Right.
So walking through these values, there's another value, which is listening, something that we often talk about. But it forces you, when you read about what listening really is, it's actually stop talking, asking questions to the person that you're talking to, showing a genuine interest. When you have these conversations, something happens inside of you because you realize, here are areas in my life that I really can work with. And what happens is that actually transformation starts because you start to reflect on things that you forget to reflect on. So I love having this focus that we can all transform our own lives. And we can, as we do that, we can share what we're experiencing, and then we can encourage other people to start doing the same things, try to go a bit deeper into their lives, to their values. How do we lead ourselves in this world?
A little bit ago, you mentioned that it begins with us. I mean, it's a personal decision. It's a personal process that we have to go through. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how it was with you? What is your personal experience? What was the key point, or the starting point in your life, and then maybe how you moved forward in this process?
Well, I think the most difficult hard walk that I've been through with my husband is actually that after having our school for 11 years, we had to close it down. Because it's a really difficult task financially to carry on your shoulders.
Right.
And financially, that meant a lot to us, and we're still struggling with that. So it started a journey of, we did what we believed was the right thing to do. We can see that we've really made a difference in the lives of children and their families and our own children. We just had to pay a really high price. And how do you continue? How do you continue your life with having that sense of, at one point it's success, but financially it's a failure? How do you get on with life? And I think that has probably been the hardest process for me as an individual, and for my husband. People get divorced because of finances not working out.
I think
well.
that's the reason number one, right, for divorce, the financial problems. Yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't, we're still really in love with each other and love each other, but it's been tough.
Yeah.
And how do you turn that into something valuable?
Right.
Today, we have no problem telling people that what we've been going through, especially financially, and what I can see that it does, it kind of makes people listen.
Right.
Because you come out of a humbleness and you say, listen, success is not always seen when it comes to finance. Success can be something very, very different. And I am who I am today with the humbleness that I believe I carry because of the difficult processes
Mm-hmm.
that I've been going through.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, transformation comes in many different ways. And I think we need to humble ourselves
Right.
and realize that often it comes through hardships.
Right.
And we need to support each other. That's why, you know, having a coach or a mentor
Mm.
is so important,
Right.
because you need to listen to what other people have experienced. You need to see if there are any of their experiences that you can use in your own life.
Mm.
And then you, with those role models in your life, you can start building something yourself. So I would never be without the Maxwell team, because the DNA within the Maxwell
Mm.
team is, you know, how can we add value to other people?
Mm.
And I've met that, you know, how can people add value to me? I find that extremely different
Mm-hmm.
than what I, you know, what kind of attitudes I can meet in the world. Because often people are so focused on themselves. You know, I give, I take,
Mm.
this is me building my kingdom. Don't, you know.
Right.
But
Protecting
within the
my.
Maxwell team, I really met that different kind of DNA. How can I add value to you? How can I support you in what you're going through? So that has become so much also a part of me, looking
Mm.
to my surroundings and asking, how can I add value to you?
Right.
What can I do to help you make life easier
Mm.
than it was to me?
You know, this is so important what you're saying. I mentioned that probably just about in every interview, that aspect, just what you said, is the one aspect, probably that at the moment, that the one aspect that has most impact on my life. Just, you know, that conscious living value, uh, of adding value to people. You know, really trying to go the extra mile. And what can I do for you? How can I help you out? How can I help you grow? That is very true. It's amazing, and you are proof of it right now, because people do not know that you were originally not booked for this interview, but because, you know, some other reasons, our previous guest couldn't be here today. You know, I contacted you and you jumped to right away. It's like, yes, of course, let us do it, and I thank you for that. So yeah, so important. Well, just a reminder for our viewers, I'm going to leave all of Ingrid's contact information in the description box, in case you want to get in touch with her, in case you want to know more about her coaching services. Please do that. I will leave everything you need in the description box. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
going back to nurture transformation, you just mentioned a few moments ago success, right? And it seems that we live in that kind of world. Everyone wants to climb the ladder, you know, just move forward and achieve, and mostly fame, money, it's recognition, and so on. What, how would you, or what is success to you? How would you describe success in your life?
I think being content with who you are
Mm-hmm.
and knowing your worth,
Mm-hmm.
I think that is success.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that you were created with a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and that people actually can learn from you, that you can add value to them. I think that to me is very much success.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then trying to be the answer to questions or solutions to problems that occur around you, to be active, involved with changing circumstances. When you do that, you become really satisfied with life,
Mm-hmm.
because you are actively trying to do something different,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have the time to look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think happiness is not
Mm-hmm.
being very much aware of who you are and what you should do and what you should look like. but it's more looking out and looking for the needs around you, not forgetting yourself, of course.
Right.
You gotta try to be the best version of yourself. So happiness is so much different from what we see on the social media, for example. And I think happiness comes out of humbleness. You know, the people that I want to listen to are the ones where I can feel that they are humble and they're not afraid of talking about the difficult stuff in life, and they want to share. So I just heard a podcast with Patrick Lencioni just recently, and he, you know, being on top of the world when it comes to leadership, he just mentioned how he teaches the companies that he works with to be the CEOs to be extremely humble and invisible. And I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to follow people that are strong characters and dominating, because I don't believe that is what life is all about. I think you should be humble. You need to be strong, you need to know where you're going, but in order for people to be able to relate to you, you got to be humble. Right. And you got to be yourself. Don't pretend to be somebody else. So transformation comes out of acknowledging that life is difficult, but that you can change and you can change it.
Yeah. A transformation requires a plan, right? I mean, we have to have a growth plan, and you just mentioned a little bit ago that that it's, you know, that's a good thing to get a coach if we need. I mean, just about everyone needs a coach, actually, right? But you know, to get help, because sometimes we, you know, often we need a little advice. We need, you know, the point of view. We need to be challenged. We need to be questions, and so on and so forth. But so having a growth plan is a whole new subject. But can you tell us? Can you share a little bit of your growth plan? I mean, how do you nurture your own transformation, your own growth in life?
I go through my day.
Okay.
And I think about what I did and what I want to do differently. See, I am not too keen on these big growth plans because it becomes too much, too difficult to achieve. So one thing that I've actually learned it a lot through the transformation tables, is that you take these small steps. You find one thing that you want to change, and then you nurture it. And you look at it and you see, am I doing well? One of the things I've looked at is, am I listening enough to my husband? Because I've been in politics for years, I can talk like crazy. And if you combine that with a teacher, you know, I can talk for hours. But my husband doesn't need me to talk. So I've had to teach myself to listen and not talk all the time. And I think that is so powerful to me, to look into these small areas and see, how am I doing? It doesn't have to be these big, huge plans that can be really overwhelming. But take these things in your life that you deal with every day and check up on them every day. Start the morning with, how do I want to do my day today? Do I know, am I going into a difficult meeting with difficult people? What am I dealing with? How can I prepare myself for this so that I can be, you know, the best version of me? I think that is powerful.
Yes.
So starting small, keeping it small, but making sure to check up on yourself. That is powerful. Yes. That is transformation, because it stays with you.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. What about to finish? But as you know, one of the main purposes of this Maxwell DNA video series is to we are creating, we are launching this Maxwell Leadership and German-speaking region. And for those of you that are watching, if you want to know more about that, all information you need about that is in the description box. We have different social media platforms. Make sure you give us a visit and find out more about what we're doing. But going back to you, Ingrid, and maybe some people that are watching us right now, they are already coaches. They are thinking about becoming a coach, and or maybe they just want to. They are on the look for a good plan, a good module that will help them grow and be better leaders, better people, better persons. What can you tell them? Why should they give John Maxwell a try? Why should they give John Maxwell Leadership a chance?
So I think we waste a lot of money on all kind of stuff in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think becoming a part of the Maxwell team is such a life-changing investment.
Mm-hmm.
And just becoming a part of a community where you realize that people are seriously working with leadership. They are learning from the best. If you read John Maxwell's books, you realize he is one of the best authors on leadership. And he has been living it out himself. So make that investment and figure out, what would that mean for me to be a part of this? And I'm so excited that you were starting a German platform. It's a bit of a tricky thing because, of course, John Maxwell is an American, right? So the organization, the Maxwell team, is mainly an American organization.
Right.
At least in Denmark, people are not that fond of American culture, because we think, Americans tend to have too many words and too many big words, and what
I'm not
I
gonna
found,
say anything.
but what I found is that the content of Maxwell material is so crazy good, that you can take it, you can adapt it into your own life, and then becoming certified, you are allowed to use it in your business, pass it on to people. And then you got to find your way of adapting that into your own culture. In Denmark, that is a bit of a trick, because Danes don't like to be told what to do. So you got to find a way of, come on, we all want to be better. And actual Maxwell gives us tools to become better versions of ourselves. So I can really, really encourage people to join the Maxwell team and get to know what that is all about. Becoming a part of community, having access to so much material on leadership and leading yourself is crazy. It's amazing.
Thank you, Ingrid. All information for you watching us right now, you will find it in the description box. Give us a visit and send us an email. Get in touch with us to find out more about what we're doing. Ingrid, we have a few seconds. Thank you very much for those words. We have a few seconds left. One last encouraging word regarding nurturing transformation before we leave.
Always learn. Always, please always want to be better, a better version of yourself. Always study, read books, listen to podcasts, talk to people, share your life, share your values, share your experience. Please continue doing that. Even me being 57 right now, I am studying to become an ADHD consultant because of what runs in my family. I also became a brain health coach with a psychiatrist, Dr. Daniel Amen, and I keep studying because I want to be better. I want to know that life is more. So please, don't get out of your comfortable world and challenge yourself to do something different. to seek knowledge, to listen to what people have to say, and then be open to make changes in your life. That you can maybe think of things differently than you thought for years. Just live life differently and be hungry about life.
Thank you very much, Ingrid. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, we'll see you in a few days with the last session, with the last value of the Maxwell DNA acronym. I'm excited, and I hope you will join us. Ingrid, have a great day. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.